Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Drifting Lands. During the last part, I destroyed the newest and greatest ship sent by Redemption and met with Mother Earth aka Gaia. This marked the end of the main storyline. Afterwards I embarked on some postgame missions, and I'll continue to do so. So, I'll be going through the Crusader Run, Part 1. I switched up my skill equipment or skill setup, so now I have the mutated fire ability instead of the focus fire ability. For the non-boss missions, I will be experimenting with my skill setups. But for boss missions, I'll rely on a tried and true setup. Now, as usual, unless I have something to say within these parts, I'm going to be staying mostly silent. So here's mutated fire. As you can see here, my fire type is going to randomly change every so often. Oh, this is going a little bit problematic because of all the damage types, though. But as usual, I'm going to be mostly silent throughout these parts until I see something interesting. I'll only really be talking at the beginning of each mission and at the end of each mission. So, see you at the end.
Focus up. Skill not ready. Focus up.
Relatively easy mission, but unfortunately the mutated fire didn't work the way it intended, or I thought it would. Well, it's supposed to randomly change your main weapon's damage type every 5 seconds, but it only seemed to switch between plasma, physical, and magnetic. I was hoping it would switch to antimatter, but apparently it didn't. Plus, I really needed the ability to fire backwards, so unfortunately it wasn't as useful as I hoped. I also collected a unique weapon, so let me see what it does. Okay, this is a hoplite. It's... I don't recognize this weapon type. Okay, so stats requirements have been increased by 38%, but my plasma spears have increased in size. I lose some DPS, but hey, I get a lot more benefit for spears. And I can still use all my items, so I'm fine, I think. Speaking of which, let me see this. I want to experiment with the spears, so... let me see here. Where is it? Oh, it's in the advanced again. Oh yeah, the harpoon spear. This will create a connection between enemies and it'll deal 50% of damage I deal to other enemies, so... Let me try it out for a spin. Might as well. After all, I'll be able to hit enemies backwards if I'm careful and actually tag them before they move behind me. And did I move... okay, I moved everything else. I should do a double check just to be sure. I should also be placing this in the second item box just in case so I don't lose it by accident. Or sell it off. But in this part, I will be finishing off the difficulty grade 4. And maybe I'll do 1 or 2 missions for difficulty grade 5, but we'll see. As I said in the description for part 11, the previous part, I'm going to be aiming as much as possible to complete each tier or difficulty grade in 3 parts. At most. Maybe 2 or 3 parts, but for the last 2 difficulty grades, maybe I'll go up to 4. Okay, so this is a cannon, so it has really slow firing rate, but... I don't understand how that's supposed to work, actually. Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, I see. Okay, I forgot. You're supposed to fire the spear and you can aim it wherever it goes. That's nice. I just need to get used to the aiming, though. Well, a double cannon is good for dealing with weaker foes, or the stronger foes who are more stationary, but it can be a little bit scary if you're not careful. Ow. That was my fault, though. I missed my shot over there. I'll need to learn how to use this more properly. Shouldn't it have worked over there? Well, I just destroyed all the enemies there, so that won't help. Oh, and it goes in the opposite direction of where I'm pointed. Or it's a little bit rotated, so even if I hold my control stick up, it's firing at 0 degrees. But if I go left, it's going under it, so it's going to be a little bit confusing to use this. It's just the angle of fire is a bit offset from where I'm pointing my left analog stick. So as long as I hold down, I can actually impale enemies. So as long as I hit an enemy who's also harpooned, the other enemy who is harpooned, they'll also take damage. This seems like a rather powerful weapon if I can get it working. Especially with bosses who are multiple tough enemies who I can't harm as easily. And I need to still be careful so I don't keep ramming into these enemies. And it still gets trapped by those mines. That's more my fault for not dodging. Oh no, it's the laser series. Now I'm actually properly aiming at stuff. But of course they're completely shielded, so it isn't worth it. But if I can more carefully aim and figure out how to use this, it's going to be really worth it. It does have a skill gap though, and if I don't hold down the button, I can fire directly forwards. Okay, fair enough. Oh yeah, and if I realize what this blue sparkly thing does, it saps all my energy if I'm in the radius. Now here's a good place to use it if I can aim my shots properly.
Not enough energy.
There we go.
Not enough energy.
Now I just need more energy to properly use this. And having a faster firing gun would also be helpful.
Focus up.
This is a better weapon if you have a lot of DPS, of course. It synergizes better, I mean.
Focus up.
Oh well, I'm just using this for a trial run, but I suppose for other builds this would be a lot better. Hey, there's certain build synergies which are better after all for certain ships. I do like that Alchemy gives us the option to choose which one we like better, and the one that fits our playstyle more.
Focus up. Skill not ready. Focus up. Skill not ready. Focus up. Skill not ready. Skill not ready.
Well, this mission was certainly more difficult than the previous one. Unfortunately, well, even though the magnetic harpoon is pretty nice, well, whatever it's called actually, the harpoon spear is pretty nice, it would work much better if I had a higher DPS weapon. So I'll be taking it off, but I will be saving it up for other missions. Hey, it may prove to be more useful when I get better equipment. Let's see, okay, it isn't a boss mission, so let me try out another piece of a skill and see how it works. I already want to keep my bubbles, so, and this. You know what, let me try the Flame Thrust and see how it works. Hopefully I don't ram into an enemy by accident. That would be rather embarrassing. Also, a minor quibble over there, but the mission name over there for Crusader Run is untranslated. It's still in French. Alright, let's see how this works. I still need to be a bit careful though. But it has a relatively fast cooldown, that's good. Even faster than the Flame Blade. Oh, and of course I can only thrust forwards or backwards. This seems to be a pretty nice skill, but I don't want to use it in something like the convoys. That would be kind of scary. Wow, I can really stun lock enemies if I can easily tear through a lot of enemies if I'm skilled enough. You know what, I may actually reuse this in other missions if I'm feeling a bit more cocky. Because I can do stuff like that.
Skill not ready.
But I can't do it, of course, if they're too close to the end of the screen. Yeah, I'm really liking it. I'm really liking this ability. It really promotes smart play, and skilled play, that is.
Skill not ready.
Oh, and I thought I had my shield up. And of course I can dodge behind bullets if I'm skilled enough. Too bad I can't really just jump behind and forward of enemies. I mean, I can't go above and below it. That's a different skill. For the regular dash series of abilities you can do that. But of course I suppose it'd be broken if this had the ability to. I just need to make sure I'm not too close to the enemy while doing it, otherwise I'll just ram into it and die. This would be much better for regular enemies and mini-bosses compared to bosses. That's for sure. As you saw there, I just completely trounced this mini-boss, what was before at a lot more difficulty. Just gotta be careful, especially with all of these feral mechs. With non-feral mechs it would be a lot better because I don't need to worry about my taking damage that pierces right through my shields. At least the feral mech's damage per shot for the antimatter is a lot less. That's one saving grace.
Ready. Skill not ready. Focus up. Not system failing.
Of course that happened. I thought it was out of cooldown, but I pressed A, didn't work. Oh well, I knew I was gonna lose that eventually. Well, cut to the point where I can refight this boss battle. That's the only problem with the Flame Thrust. Alright, I'm about the point where I died before. Maybe just a little bit before, but close enough anyway. I decided to switch out my Flame Thrust with the classic backwards and forwards Flame Blade, as even though I really like the Flame Thrust, I would like a bigger notice when the Flame Thrust is actually available to use again. It's kind of a common complaint for all my skills actually. The notice for showing that your skill is ready, well, I know there's a notice around your ship that shows when your skill is not ready, as well as an announcer saying skill not ready, but I would like an announcer saying something like skill 1 is ready or skill 4 is ready, so I don't need to split my attention between looking at the bottom part of the screen and the top part of the screen to know when my stuff is ready to be used. Especially in the higher level of the stages, it can get really hectic to figure out what's going on, and I don't want to create a split attention effect. I know we have that ring interface which comes next to me, but still, I would like to be a little bit more explicit or to be an announcer or something. Or give the option at least.
Focus up. Skill not ready. Skill not ready. Skill not ready. Skill not ready. Focus up. Skill not ready. Skill not ready. Not enough energy. Skill not ready. Skill not ready. Focus up. Focus up.
Well, that mission went a lot better. Then again, the last time I attempted doing this, it would have gone a lot better if I hadn't rammed into that mini-boss. Also, it seems like I'm filling up my hold really fast. I really hope there's a way to upgrade my storage space, otherwise, or some way to drop the common gear. Alright, let me just take a quick trip to the market, solve everything as usual. Go back to the hangar, switch out my equipment slots, or ability slots. Once again, I wish there was a loadout system for my equipment slots, so that I can quickly switch between different setups, both for equipment and my skill sets, or active and passive skills. And with that out of the way, it's time to go to Crusader 4, aka the Crusader fight. Destroy the main threat of the last sector. Oh, okay, so the final boss, or boss he fought in the last part, was actually called the Redemption Crusader. So we're going to be fighting it again in this part, this time with a much longer mission. I know I'm kind of beating a dead horse by this point of the LP, but I would really like a distinction between long missions like the last mission and very long missions like this one. But now that I think about it, these linked missions offer a lot more risks compared to the other mission types, mainly because if you fail one or retreat against it, or retreat in one of the missions, well, you have to repeat the chain all over again. Hopefully the gear you get at the end of these chains is a lot better than usual. I did get quite a few unique items which I didn't get in the previous parts in as much quantity. Oh no, the game is slightly lagging over there. Too many projectiles are coming about. I'm really thankful that the hull refactor cannot be interrupted, otherwise this would have been a lot more of a nightmare to do. Oh, whoops. Still, the mines are extremely dangerous, especially because how they can be disguised by the background. Especially because parts of the background are rather purple. Fighting plasma enemies or enemies with plasma projectiles in this background space, yeah, it can be quite difficult. Red on red. There's one thing I do like about fighting these enemies though. The fact that enemy projectiles do have a black outline against them, so you can distinguish it from your own projectiles. At the very least. Oh no. I'm gonna have to leave that there. Once again, of course, I have everything is antimatter. That's why it's so difficult to fight these. I'm really looking forward to the time when I finally get my first antimatter weapon, or something that can mutate my main weapon fire or secondary weapon fire to be antimatter type.
Focus up.
And because of force of habit, I keep thinking that my flame spear skill is at the bottom, but in reality it's now my orbiting, or orbital. Which is still great, but it's much more of a defensive utility more than offensive. I should be using it more often though, considering how much it can eat the lines of bullets everywhere. Once again, the window lost focus, because one of my other system processes, I don't know which, decided to take control. It's always so annoying. I wish this game had better priority settings, because no other game I ever LP'd actually had this problem for some reason. Only this game is really having this reason. And in those games, all of those other games, I tried to play in windowed mode, so maybe there's a process priorities problem.
Focus up.
Now if there was only one way I could freeze these orbs that are orbiting around me, then again it would make this weapon kind of broken, or special ability, because then I could easily just use it as a shield against, well, enemies with lasers. Oh good, now we have to fight two of them at once. Ah, yikes. Too close there. I'm just gonna ignore these bosses, why not? I don't have enough damage so I can deal with it properly. I'm just gonna let them fly away. I don't deal enough damage to deal with both of them at the same time. Not without the flame blade. But I don't want to risk losing any of my other skills like the shield or hull refactor.
Focus up.
Maybe the plasma spear would actually be better in these situations because I can more easily rapid fire it. But I need to get really close to the enemy, and that's what I'm so worried about. It's not as good as in boss missions, because for most bosses I can't really get up to them to use my plasma spear. And there's a unique item. It's a unique energy utility. I did replace my energy cell off screen with a much more powerful one. I'll show that off after this part, or after this battle. After this mission, I'll be running one more mission, that being the Grade 4 or Grade 5 trial at least. Then I'll end off this part. I'm going to also try making it so that each of the difficulty grades has a distinct starting and end part, so that when I start a new part, I won't end up in the middle of one difficulty grade. Or, specifically speaking, if I end a difficulty grade in one part, I'll end off the part early, unless I end the part with 15 or 20 minutes to spare. In that case, I'll continue on to the next difficulty grade just a little bit.
Focus up. Skill not ready. Skill not ready. Focus up.
Fighting these bosses with all the spreads of projectiles would have been a lot easier if there weren't so many antimatter mines here. If they were a different type of mine, it would be a lot easier, but because they're antimatter and I don't really have much antimatter resistance, well, I don't think I have any. It's very scary. Any wrong move and it's the end of me. In fact, I think I'll just ignore this boss if possible. It's the safer option. The Crusaders should be coming up very soon, at least. This was a rather long mission after all. Okay, here it is. Let's hope for the best. I defeated it once in the last part, let's hope it isn't as difficult as... Oh, whoa, I forgot it fired I completely forgot it fired lasers like that. Whoops. That's my vision playing tricks on me. Or my fault. Note to self, stay away from the center. Hopefully I don't run out of time. I'm not sure if this is one of the bosses that runs away though, like the Twin Guardians do.
Skill not ready.
At least all my shots will effectively hit some part of it. And my projected configuration has a long enough range that I can actually hurt the target. Okay, phase 1 done. Let's do phase 2. It seems to have a little bit more HP compared to before though. Oh no, oh whoa. At least none of these shots are antimatter yet. Not until it goes crazy or haywire.
Focus up.
It's gonna fire in the other direction now. Heat up all these shots. And start regenning immediately.
Skill not ready.
Okay, I'm almost done with this phase. Okay, phase 3. The part where all these purple crystals decide to merge in with this for some reason. I still don't know what these are supposed to be. Is there another sentient faction who is trying to kill us all? And decides to just turn all these machines feral? This is the part where all the antimatter comes in, aka the scary part. Especially the missiles. Ah, wow, I dodged most of it.
Skill not ready.
Come on, we're almost there. Okay, it's over. The Crusader has been defeated once again. Even though the Crusader can be quite challenging, it's still not as difficult as the Twin Guardians. That's for sure. The Twin Guardians were a lot more dangerous because they could move all over the place. Wow, even stronger. Here's the item I got, the Cold Fusion ability, which gave me 970% skill power, but we have an upgraded one. I still want the repair skill, so I won't take it. Well, nothing of use here, unfortunately. And the fast reboot would have been awesome if I had the second wind ability equipped, but I don't. And the second wind ability is rather risky because it will replace my auto retreat. Alright, time for the last thing. Grade 5 trial, so I need to defeat this boss in order to unlock the next difficulty grade. Let's do this. I'll still keep my current equipment set up because I need the ability to eat up all those shots. And this is a much shorter mission, thankfully.
Focus up.
It seems from here on out, missions or at least difficulty grades, I'll have to go through 3 mission chains, and then I'll be fighting the boss. Or at least that's all I'll try doing. And if I don't have the requisite gear in order to survive the missions, then off screen I'll do some level grinding. I know I will do some level grinding, or at least money and equipment grinding off screen between this and the next part, because I'll need to earn enough money to purchase both the ship and a lot of the stat upgrades so I can use my current set of gear. as that will start at base level 0 in terms of gear, or 0 stat points. I wonder how much money you get for actually selling off your previous ship though. I may decide to do that because, well, for my previous ship, the basic Marauder, I never actually sold it off because I may have a use for it in the future. Alright, here's the boss at difficulty grade number 4. It's the Redemption Crusader again. Okay then, so the same strategy as before. Let's see if it has any new tricks up its sleeves. I suppose it doesn't. Also, I realized something. Up to this mission, I forgot to use my other ability, the ability of, well, being able to have all those option orbs floating around. Whoops. That would have made several fights a lot easier.
Skill not ready.
Just make sure not to get hit by that giant laser, make sure not to get hit by all those pellets as much as possible, and make sure not, of course, not to ram into the boss. Okay, phase 2. Let's do this. Oh no, I don't really think it was a good idea. Okay, never mind, it didn't go all the way up. I thought I needed to lure it around a bit, but no, I thought I made a mistake there. Thankfully I survived.
Skill not ready. Focus up.
For these segments, I would really have liked to have mouse control. In fact, I may switch over to mouse control in the next part just to try it out, see how it goes for me. Because especially with these bullet dodging segments, a mouse is what I'm much more used to compared to using a controller.
Skill not ready.
Almost there. There we go. Mission accomplished. Just make sure not to get hit by the missiles, and let's get out of here. Difficulty grade 4 has been completed. We're halfway there. Or really halfway there. And we've unlocked difficulty grade number 5. So let's take a quick peek at what that is. Wow, every mission is red. Of course I know the reason for that. Mainly because I need to upgrade my ship at this point. And of course, another nice thing I've noticed is that immediately once you unlock a new difficulty grade following the end of the story, you immediately have access to the next difficulty grade's boss, or the trial. Of course, it's really dangerous to do so at first, so it's best to grind up. But your grade only goes up to level 65, so following difficulty grades 7, 8, 9, 10, you may want to skip directly to the end boss, if your ship is fully upgraded. So we unlocked the final set of skills, well, the ones we don't unlock in secret missions, of course, or side missions, and the final ship, which is the Elite Marauder. That's not what I meant to do, I meant to press something else. Let's purchase the ship right now and see how much it costs. Well, let's compare all the ships, actually. Elite Interceptor, best for advanced players. Elite Marauder, straight upgrade. It doubles my health, I get 20 more energy, doubles my shield, get a lot more shield regeneration, my goodness. We only had about 25 here, now we have plus 75 to that, and my base armor is doubled. And the Centennial already has even more crazy stats because it's the more hulking armored beast, but it's rather slow. So let's purchase it, Elite Marauder. Now with a nice blue sheen. But of course I need to upgrade all my gear because now all of this is unusable because I need a lot more power, which I will be doing off screen in between this and the next part. So a lot of time will be spent grinding up my structure, navigation and power skills so that everything that I already have equipped in my Premium Marauder will be equipped in my Elite Marauder. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!